What's up, everybody? Wanetah and Jason here, and today we are going to talk about the best offer you can offer your clients this year. And Jason, what is that?
That is AI chatbots. And I have spent the last few weeks learning about this and really the last few days just spending every hour that I can trying to dive deep into this so we can create this video. I've done a lot of tests. I'm going to pull up my little cheat sheet here so we can cover what we're going to talk about today, which is Wanetah.
I just want to clarify that statement is very true. Jason has been in the basement building a bot. Today, we are going to talk about why we think AI chatbots are going to be huge this year, why we know that. What are AI chatbots anyway? Building custom chatbots, conversational AI in HighLevel using their platform, and the best tool that we've found so far, which we're really excited about, and our first AI chatbot live test, which some of you may already know a little bit about. So,
Yep.
Jason, tell me why the AI chatbots are going to be huge this year.
Well, really, I have been, as Juanita and I have said, I've been studying this for a while, but I think it is one of the biggest opportunities that we have right now because I remember when websites first came out. So if you guys are younger, you don't know that was ever the case that we didn't have websites. But I remember when websites like businesses didn't have a website and you could literally go door to businesses and say, "Hey, your competition has a website, you don't have a website. How about $15,000 will get you one set up?" And for big companies, that was legit. That was like on the low end. Some websites cost $100,000 because it was a brand new technology. So AI has been quite the rage this past year, but I also think that this next iteration of it, where it can actually respond to clients right there on within seconds, is going to solve a lot of problems because that speed to lead that we talk about a lot with like a missed call text back and even just having a chat widget when a lot of other companies don't. That's good. That's better than nothing. But the problem is, and I've seen this in our SaaS company, Juanita, when we would sell software to people, they would get a bunch of leads, but then they wouldn't follow up with them, right? So
Right, for
this
sure.
solves that problem of at least making that initial contact. And then I've seen all the way from the initial contact all the way to the AI chatbot actually booking people on a calendar to be presented an offer. So if you can go out to your clients and say, "Hey, what if our AI chatbot could book clients on your calendar all day long and you didn't have to be the one that qualified those leads. You just talk to the people that were most interested."
Right. Yeah. And also know exactly what that chatbot is going to say, right? Versus leaving it to a human and getting emotional. But I think in the future, right, we're all going to expect to connect. Like, meaning, like, gone will be the day that you go to a website and you read their website. I get disappointed these days when there's no video on a website. Like, I really want to know. I'm like, this is your chance for me to let me know who you really are, what to expect. I think it's really powerful to, meet somebody before you actually meet somebody. That way, when they actually come in, you know that they've already approved of you, right? So that's why we always used to push, we still push video on clients. Like, you gotta get on camera and you gotta let people know who you are, right? But I think gone will be the days where you visit a website and you don't talk to somebody, right? You don't get information. You don't have just a conversation where you can ask anything you want and have a real connection. I just think that is the future. That's where everyone will be going. You're already left behind if you don't have a website, right? You can get by with Facebook, but the reason is with Facebook, what? You can DM somebody and you can maybe talk to somebody, right? So I think that obviously is going to be a big game changer. But I also think that these bots are going to be able to do everything that most people don't want to do, right? Because Jason, he's not lying. Like, we would get people leads and they just would do nothing with them. And I think the pain point is, I guess they're afraid of rejection? Do you think
Yeah.
that's what it is? Or just the fear of nobody wants to cold call? Well, these bots aren't going to just respond to people, they're also going to prospect and
Right.
reach out, and their feelings will not get hurt, and they can be as aggressive as possible. And so, yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be a game changer.
Yeah. Now there's a fine art to this, and we'll get into some of the nitty gritty today, showing you a journey that I took over the past couple of weeks. But I will say that this is different than if you're thinking, "Oh, I've seen chatbots or things before." It's not like where you have to like tap a button and then it gives you two options and you tap the next button. That's a chat bot. This is what we're talking about is an AI powered chat bot, all synced up with ChatGPT and OpenAI to where it will give unique responses based on some prompts and based on your criteria, but it gives a nice, courteous, friendly answer and drives them towards whatever goal you want them to do. So it's not just like tap this for this and tap that for that. Okay, now tap this for this. Like people know what that flow is, and oftentimes they run to a dead end where they get frustrated. This actively is going to engage with them and respond, make jokes, have compassion for a situation, all those different things. And we'll show some of the back and forths that we got when we sent out our first test today.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of you have already used and still use Chat GPT a lot. I know I do. I feel like chat has become my best friend. The moment the I guess things changed for me. What I really realized the moment that I was doing a long project, and with any other human being, the amount of questions that I was asking, I would have worn somebody out. There's no way that I would have pushed an employee, a coworker, or anyone that hard, because usually I can tell, like, okay, I'm overworking somebody. I need to stop. And that was the aha moment where I was like, this is amazing. And so even your best employee, they get tired, they have to sleep. This thing is going to work for people 24/7, 365. And here's the other thing, it can be everywhere. It can service everyone
Yeah.
all at one time, right?
Yeah,
Whereas you
that's a
can't
point.
be somewhere.
That's a point that I missed earlier is that a lot of people have outsourced to virtual assistants, and I think that's great. And a lot of them work very hard, but there's also so many hours in the day, and they also have to take care of their families and eat lunch and those types of things. So, this is an opportunity where you can literally have infinite scale of support and sales, at least on the front end. Now, obviously, when you get down to the nuanced stuff, we're not quite there yet, but just getting somebody qualified and getting them booked on a calendar, I'm so blown away by what these things are capable of doing already.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
Awesome.
so let's jump into it. Jason, what are AI chatbots? Did we cover that, or are you about to nerd out on us?
No, I'll keep it pretty simple. We talked, but I think basically what it is a flow of leads that come from multiple sources. It could be from somebody texting your company, could be from a chat widget, could be from Facebook DMs, Instagram DMs, could be from a Google chat that we also can help our clients get with high level. Any one of those sources and more to come. But any way that a conversation comes in, that initial question is intercepted by your AI that goes out to ChatGPT currently. There's a lot of different models that you can run it on, but that's the one that most people are using. And then it reads that question. It goes to the database of all the stuff that it's learned from the internet and from the documents that you've supplied it about your company. And then it gives them a response that hopefully guides them to their answer. And if you set an agenda for that chat bot, like I want you to be a qualifying bot and book people on my calendar, then it will do that. And we'll show you towards the end of this what we've ultimately built our first chat bot on that has these segmented steps. Like step one, I want to make sure that you get the name and email. Step two, I want to see, for instance, if it was a real estate investing bot, I want to see the motivation. Why is the person wanting to sell? What the condition of the property is. Then I want you to see if they have a price in mind. If it if they don't, then it moves on casually to the next step and says, okay, ultimately, we could help you best if you jump on a call with us. What's your best availability? Is it Thursday at 7 or Friday at 12? And then it will automatically book them on your calendar. It'll check to see if you're available and then book them on a calendar and serve you up perfectly ready to talk people and with some qualifying questions already out of the way. So, did that
Okay,
narrow it down?
yeah, that give us a lot. With these chatbots right now, are they a one-stop shop? Or are they more like separate employees, right? Like I am Allison the appointment booker, right? And I am, I don't know, what's another thing that, I'm Paul the prospector. Do they all have different, are these bots different positions at work, different departments, I guess, that you're
Yeah.
speaking to? Or are they building these to be just, they have all the answers? I
Yeah.
have all the answers to the business.
There are a couple different models we'll look at. I'll talk you through the journey that I found. We looked at high levels. I built a custom one on my own, just very new to bot building, although I am tech savvy. But there are different types. Some platforms allow just for one bot, some allow to have what you're describing, where it's a sales bot, customer service bot, or whatever bot that you can plug into different scenarios depending on what you need. And then we built a general Q&A bot that also has a slight edge of sales for our affiliates. So basically, it was frequently asked questions about high level, and then a slight nudge if they haven't signed up for high level to it gave them our link to sign up to be an affiliate under us. So a slight one, or you can have the aggressive, like, I'm going to get these 5 questions answered and book you on a calendar, or we're not getting off this chat. I'm going to keep getting back and forth with you.
All right. Okay. So let's jump in.
Cool.
What we got next?
All right, so building custom chatbots. So I wanted to go out and find how to build one of these because I've heard there's so many companies that are making these things. Some high level has one built in, a conversational AI, and a lot of other AI tools that we've talked about on the channel to make your website copy and stuff like that. So I just wanted to see how hard is it to build one of these, at least a basic one, and can I actually make it work with my limited knowledge? And if I can, is it much better than what high level offers directly inside of their platform? So I'll show you what I built here, and it doesn't work. I'll just spoil it right there. But I'll just show you how
Oh,
complex these things are because it was hours and hours of work. I looked at several other videos on YouTube, followed some people that I think do great work. I don't want to call anybody out because this particular one didn't work for me yet. I'm still refining it. But basically, there were all these. This is a workflow inside of high level. So it was built in high level, but it's supposed to bypass the conversational AI that is built into high level and just go straight to chat GPT and pull stuff in and out. So you didn't need to use high level. And I'll talk to you about the pluses and minuses of high level in a moment.
so just to clarify, this is not high levels conversational AI tool. This
Correct.
is you building your own inside of high level.
Right.
Okay.
So I just want to show you one of the more complex ones. And honestly, I don't even know what it's supposed to do. I just know that I didn't do something right because I couldn't get it to fully function. But just to show you how intense these workflows can get. And if you're super techie, I recommend trying to build a basic one just so you can get an idea of the logic that goes into these things. But if you've heard my other videos, you've heard me talk about workflows, and workflows are often based on a trigger, meaning something happens and then a cascade of other things happens underneath it. So I'm not going to explain this whole thing. I just want you to see the level of complexity here where basically you can see that somebody replies on a text message and then it goes through all these different steps, checking tags and going out to ChatGPT to respond with an answer, and it just goes on and on. And you can set these things up to go on for days just following up with a prospect. And there's a lot of
So
these.
I'm sorry. Can we go full screen on this and just so I can get a closer, there you go. We can zoom in, but perhaps to one of
Yeah, I'm just
the,
trying to get to the.
yeah. I just Can you just go into, without going too deep, what are all of these boxes as you go underneath? Is this row of boxes on the left-hand side, right?
Mhm.
Does this mean that everything is a yes so far and you're just back and forth? And do you have to put in the response every time? Like, is every box a manual response?
No, so these are all, and again, I just got to be upfront. I don't even really understand what this thing is supposed to do. I just literally followed videos step by step and did exactly what they said on the videos. So I don't
Okay.
really
So
even
let's
know
not,
what these
yeah.
things are supposed to do.
I'll save
But
my, yeah,
yeah,
curiosity for
but overall, what it was supposed to do is when somebody chats on a text message right now, SMS, they replied via SMS or text message,
Mm.
then it would go out to ChatGPT. It would see what their last message was to us. So, hey, I have a question about high level. And then it would go to ChatGPT, get an answer based on the prompt that I put in over there. And I don't know, after this, some of you are probably laughing at me because you way more than me, but I followed step by step and then got to the end and didn't quite get it to work. So
Well,
that's
I'm
where I
not
am right
laughing
now.
at you. I don't think this is funny at all.
This was like a 3-hour build for me because I
I
was
bet.
pausing the video, going back, making sure I got everything right, and it's probably just the thing about these complex workflows is that one of these things could be off, like, I could have accidentally put the wrong
Mm,
thing somewhere up here, and then none of it will work. So it's just
exactly.
really meticulous, frustrating work if you don't truly know what you're doing. Now, I've built a ton of basic workflows, like if somebody fills out a form, then they get the email, and they get a text message saying, "Thanks for signing up." That stuff's easy. This is above my knowledge base right now.
Okay. Well, it looks
So,
beautiful.
yeah, and I still recommend, like, go find if you were like, "I'm techie and I wanna go try to learn this," go watch a couple of videos, see if you can get one to work because 'cause you'll probably get a better understanding, at least, of how things are supposed to flow. And I also have found that this is an art of I was mentioning Wanetah earlier, it's like everybody has their own different way that they would build a house. Maybe
Right.
structurally, they wanna have a house at the end, but some people want granite, some people don't, whatever. So there's different ways that people come to the same conclusion. Some are better, some work faster, some still get to the same point, but don't quite work this as well. So everyone's still learning this logic process here. So, but I am deciding that for now, I'm not going to do this because it's just way too much work for something that people have already done a successful job at, which we'll show you in a bit. Even high level directly, I'm going to show you a much easier way to accomplish something roughly similar.
But that being said, you do feel that this was worth trying because even if you haven't processed everything that you've learned in this experience, I think this experience, just having some sort of working knowledge of what is happening behind the scenes, is really going to help you understand as you go. The more
Yeah.
knowledge that you actually do accumulate, soon this will click. And I think doing this, going back to doing something like this, will be a lot easier.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so, and you just get a better understanding because as you run leads through this, even I recommend don't deploy this live until you really know that it works, but do some tests on yourself, and you can see where in this process it's stuck. So it might give you some insights. Okay, if I'm building something in the future, I need to make sure that I set this up a different way or whatever. So again, this is only if you're super techie. If you're like one of our newer members that have signed up for high level and you're like, this is way beyond me, don't feel bad because I am pretty techie and I have no clue what's supposed to happen here. So that's where we are right now with that.
Yeah.
So
Don't even look at
let's
me.
yeah.
Moving on.
So
So, conversational AI and high level, what they
right.
provide already.
Yeah, so they've done an amazing job of getting up to speed. And why I love high level so much is that they have an amazing development team that is always trying to make sure that they're on the cutting edge of things. Now, they do often say that they start with what they call the skateboard method, right? So the skateboard method is where they put just a working MVP model out, like a basic model out, and then moving forward, they improve upon that, but at least give you access to have something that you can start playing around with and start utilizing that works just in its basic form. And then in the future, they get better and better. So I have no doubt that they will probably be the best option out there in the next year or two, maybe faster. But for right now, I wanted to get something working because see this as an opportunity to jump on. So I'm going to show you that side and show you what I built in there and how easily I'll start from scratch and we'll build it. I'll show you how long. So the previous one took me about 3 hours to make and it didn't quite work. We're going to build the high level one right now on the screen and I'll show you how hard it is in its basic form here. Okay, this screen. Cool. So we're inside one of our dashboards here, one of our test accounts. And all we do, you want to make sure in your agency settings that conversational AI is turned on. So that screen, I don't think I can get to here, but just make sure in your agency settings, like your main dashboard that's in not in any of the sub accounts, there's spots that say conversational AI, turn that on. Also, you want to make sure in settings here, you go down to this conversational AI here. This is inside of a sub account, so whatever one you're building the bot on, and that's where you'll get here, and this is where you can start building your bot. Now there is a cost to operate this bot, just like any of the other bots. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. If you're using, you have to set up what's called OpenAI credits, and so you're paying them directly, or you can do it all through here and offer this to your clients. And I think it said somewhere 2 cents per message or $79 for unlimited messages. So you can just determine, and this is on a location by location basis. So this means that if you turn it on for Bob's Plumbing and you want them to have unlimited messages for whatever reason, they're just going crazy with AI, then you're going to be charged $79 for unlimited. And then you're going to upsell them on top of that if you want to make a spread on top of that. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Yeah, but what qualifies or quantifies a message? If I'm like, oh, I'm doing 2 cents per message, am I like, hey, Jason, I've got 3 questions for you? You know what I mean? What
Yeah.
is the message? Is it just every
Every
back and forth?
every AI generated message is a message. So does one, two, three, four answers? That's four messages.
Okay. All right.
So it doesn't. It's not really, if you compare it to getting a team of virtual assistants, it's literally pennies, but
Yeah.
it can add up if you're really going crazy with this. So you just got to monitor that per location and see. So
Yeah, that sounds awful. I would just do the 80 bucks.
yeah, you might find though that, like, for some people, for our usage for the past 3 days has only been like $3, so about $1 a day, and we've been pretty active with it. So it probably is only going to run us like 35 dollars a month for our credits for one account. So
Well, but
who
that's
knows?
for one account, I think. I'm just speaking on if you have multiple clients
Well, I'm saying this is per location. So it's $80 per location. So you have 10
per
clients.
like sub account.
Yeah, per sub account. So this is turning this on for this sub account. If I got if I have 10 clients, I'm gonna have to turn that on for all of them. That's 800 bucks a month that I'm paying. So I got to make sure that they're paying me at least $80, if not more, to
Well, yeah.
compensate that.
But that would be a good thing to make a little
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that spread.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So you have three options right now with high level. And in this conversational AI, number one, you can turn things off, which means nothing happens, which I don't even know why they would have that here. So off, then suggestive mode is maybe like a baby step into AI, just so you can see. With suggestive mode, it doesn't actually respond to them live, but it gives you a few options to respond with. So if you're watching the chats, it'll pre-fill in some good responses and you can just tap it and it will send that suggested response. So that's a
Kinda
good,
like, Gmail, what Gmail
yep.
already does.
Yeah, like fills in the conversation a bit. So that's a good way to test the waters here. And then once
Okay.
you're sure that you like it, then you can do autopilot, which will just obviously send automatically. The supported channels, it automatically defaults to SMS, so text messages, which will also cover the chat widget on the website because that also is a text message currently.
Okay.
You can also add, I guess we got to add that. So I didn't realize it was two different options: Facebook, Instagram, and then now they have live chat too. So if you don't want that chat widget with the phone number field and everything, you can just, excuse me, do live chat here and it will literally in real time with the chat widget on the website, it will respond to people that way too.
Will you clarify that? So just like live chat on a website, are you saying they won't have to fill in their contact information? It won't
Right.
be like a lead capture? It'll
Yeah, I
just
don't,
answer people's questions?
yeah, I think so. I think it just does back and forth like real time live chat right there, which is awesome if it works well. Now, they might
Yeah,
have to
and
still put a name in or something to have some sort of lead capture. I haven't played with that one yet. It's just rolled out recently.
because I've used the live chat before just on different websites, and it was still a lead capture in order
Yeah.
to use it.
Yeah, it might be some kind of way you have to become a contact. So just putting in like a name and phone number or something to at least initialize the chat.
What is the difference? What is the difference between live chat and like a chat widget chat?
So the chat widget is what you've already seen, we've talked about, where it's
Right.
put your name and phone number in, it sends a message to the business owner. But if there's nobody on the other end, then it's just going to sit there until the business owner gets to it. And now they have captured the lead, but it's not an instant response, right?
with AI, wouldn't all chat widgets become live chat?
Yeah, eventually. Just not all of
Okay.
them have it built in yet.
Okay. But for now, live chat, the difference is right now, live chat, there is somebody who is manning that the phone or the right?
Yeah,
Okay, I
so
understand. So
there's a lot of like
basically, that's what AI is gonna do. It's gonna turn every little chat widget or every little thing into live chat, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. All
It's a
right.
good way to look at it. Okay. So now we have to go down and do some testing here. So default is the location name. So we're just going to put,
Juanita's waffles. Okay, go ahead.
we can do that. It is waffles. So this is unique here. Wait time before responding. That means that somebody sends a message. How long do you want the AI to wait before it responds? Do you want it to look more like a real person took a little bit to get to them? Do you want it to be instant where they know it's can't be real? So a lot of people have been saying like 18 seconds is a good kind of natural flow.
I don't
Um,
care about natural. If they have the right answers, I want instantaneous. Like, that's just me personally. Everybody has their own preference. And I get like people are, I'm not into trying to psych someone out. Like, oh my God, let's make them feel like they're talking to a human being. Because if they were, then we wouldn't be having this problem. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I just like speed to lead. I like when I go and I type in something, nothing bothers me more than typing in my question and seeing that think bubble. Just wait, and but when they respond, they didn't answer my question. It's just it's annoying. So,
Yeah, I
but
think everyone's
do
gonna
what you
I personally think the opposite, like, I like to have a little bit of natural dialogue flow there, so we'll test all of them and see. So, we'll go your since it's Juanita's waffles, we'll go with your,
let's split the middle. Let's just go do 5 seconds. I don't
5
expect it like right away, but wow, they're responding to me very quickly. You know what I mean?
um,
I want to know what that experience is like.
so maximum messages that a bot can send to a contact, so at the end of, in this case, 10 messages back and forth, even if it's not resolved, it will stop, so I like to bump this up to, like, maybe 30 or so. Now you obviously
Yeah.
will look like the max you can do is 25. You will obviously, that's now a 50 cent at 2 cents a message. That's a 50 cent engagement there. So you got to decide if you're comfortable with spending that, but you should be.
Well, that's why I think that, like, people in the future, I think everyone will just have a flat rate because there will be trolls going on your websites, just asking a lot of questions, charging up your chat change,
Yeah,
you
I didn't
know?
even I know people have mentioned that before. I didn't even think about that for this use case, but definitely people will do that because there is a cost. All of this is pulling data from some large language model like ChatGPT. So there's some sort of cost associated with that. It's fractions of what it would be if you're paying it for a staff member, but still. So I think that's a good safe thing to make sure that it's not unlimited messages back and forth.
You're paying your employee 80 bucks a month.
Right. Send bot to sleep when I send a message manually through the workflow, meaning if you step in and you start responding because maybe the AI goes off the rails and start answering questions that incorrectly, and you want to step in, then it will automatically go to sleep for, and you can put however long you want it to go to sleep for. Or if you just want to provide a good answer, but then later on, if the person comes back and you're gone, you want it to pick up, then 2 hours later, it's going to step back in and cover your back. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, is there just, like, a pause button, though,
You
too?
can you can pause manually in the conversational side. This is just if you just
Okay.
wanna step in and answer some stuff, but then have the AI still cover you later on.
Okay.
Cool. So this for Juanita's waffles is done. So bot training is the next spot. So here you can train on a couple different things. You can train on a website. You can train on a Google Doc. If you create a Q&A of all the most frequently asked questions, you can either put them here in the Q&A section, or if you just want to put like Juanita's Waffles is open Monday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can put all that on a sheet with the phone number, the location, the just anything about the company that you want. You can upload it all here.
Nice.
Or so you can do the exact URL, meaning just www.google.com, or you can do are all URLs in this domain. That's hard to say. So that could be like waffles.com/. about us and and hours and
Oh,
menu and all that stuff. So it'll all of that stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
And where do you would still just put the documents there that aren't website URLs? You would just put the d
So you would put the here's our URL for this Google sheet that we're working on. So you would upload something like
mhm.
this, like a
Oh,
URL
okay.
to the
You would
Google
still
Doc.
use okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And so let's just do a couple Q&A things here just about Wanetah's waffles so we can test the bot a bit. Are your hours?
Oh, okay.
Hey, give me another Q&A here.
Do you have gluten-free waffles?
Answer?
Yes, absolutely. We have the best gluten-free waffles. Maybe we should say the best gluten-free and organic waffles.
Yeah. And then here, I think it's going to make me put some kind of thing in. So let me do wafflehouse.com
How dare you smear me? Just kidding.
just so you can
And
see
then Waffle
how it
House.
works.
So this is
So
great
it's
for, restaurants. It's just I'm just going off of that, "Oh, gluten-free," or the menu. That gives you an opportunity to really be like, "We have several gluten-free items on our menu," and then you could list them all and just, like, really impress the customer.
now let's see what this configure interest is. I haven't seen this one. So okay, so this is where you set up what you want it to do, and they're expanding this. So I told you that it's somewhat limited now, but they are working on making this more. Support and general questions and answers, that's enabled. Appointment booking. So I don't know why you would book an appointment for Juanita's Waffles, but
A
let's just
reservation.
yeah,
Isn't
let's
that the same
just
thing?
yeah, let's just say
Who's faked
I mean we'll
right?
just have them actually let's okay, cool.
Can you change the language? Because wouldn't that be very much like a reservation? Could you change the language instead of book appointment? Would you like to book a reservation?
So I think
Make a
they're
reservation?
coming I think right now it's just focused on, like, people that book appointments, but in the future, I think you'll be able to customize what it's asking. So right now you can't,
Okay.
as far as I know. And all this I'm new to. This is new, so if I'm incorrect, I apologize, but I've studied this a lot, so hopefully most of this is correct that I'm telling you guys. So here in this bot trial section is where we can start testing the conversation before we actually go live. So you can just see how it would go. So I send a question in. So are you
R.
open today? Are your hours? And we also have gluten-free waffles available. Awesome. So here is just a little
Let's
bit
just
of
get this out of the way. I like it. And to me, 5 seconds was awesome.
yeah. I don't know if this might be a little faster than because it's just the test. So I don't think it's making you wait the actual 5 seconds.
Oh, really?
But here you can see there's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. So if I didn't like this answer for some reason, I could hit the
Mhm.
down arrow and then I could correct what it said and it will give me a better answer next time.
Nice.
Um,
So, can we correct it and see will it give you verbatim what you write, or
it
will
just
it
gives you
just
like a variation of
finesse
what
it?
you said. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, we're open today until 7 PM or we close at 7 PM. Would you like to make a reservation? Would you like some gluten-free waffles?
So now if I reset the conversation, let's try it again. So didn't
Did you
quite
is
do
that
what
what
I
you
said.
put in?
No, I did. I said I told it to give our hours. Oh, and it looks like here I didn't realize this part. So there's two different general
Oh.
questions or the appointment booking.
Okay, let's try that
So
again.
let's
So
reset it.
you can only have one or the other right now?
Yeah, so that's one of the
Hmm,
limitations that's challenging is you can only set up one bot right now and one agenda. So you either want the general Q&A bot or the calendar booking bot, and that's its mission is like anytime anybody ever reaches out, it's going to try to book them on a calendar. So that's why I feel it
okay.
currently it's limited but improving. So general questions, let's
Right.
try again.
Okay.
Open.
So what I was asking earlier, as far as just every bot has their own individual job. With high levels built in conversational AI, it you can only give it two jobs and they're separate, right? There's one that's general, it's like customer service. They're going to answer questions about your company. And then the other one is an appointment booker.
And to my
Yeah.
knowledge, it seems like yes, you can have one or the other bot, but you can only run one at a time. Currently, is what I've
Right.
seen. So
Okay.
if you can either only have it do Q&A always, or only have it try to book on calendars always, from what
You
I've seen.
can't go in there and switch it?
Yeah, from right
Just like you
now,
just
that's
did?
yeah, I don't see a way to do that when I actually turn this on, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But that is so right now, literally, I'm gonna send a text message in and see.
Did it just give us the gluten-free answer?
Yeah.
Wow. So it's just like word vomiting everything that it knows so far.
Yeah, and this is like with very minimal prompting too. So let's just
But
see if
what's weird is that it's very minimal prompting, but also it's not giving short answers. It's giving us everything it knows with every question. Do you know what I
right.
mean?
Mhm.
It's not like holding back on the gluten-free waffles just because it knows it. It's saying, "Yes, we're open." And then here's some other fun facts that I know.
Yeah.
"Hi, are you
Now
open today?"
I'm just deleting all these to see what it does just on the Waffle House training here. We serve pancakes. Sorry, we don't serve pancakes, but you can join our regulars club for special offers. Just fill out the form. So this is only trained on wafflehouse.com website.
Awesome.
And this is something I kept running into too. Is sorry, I don't have enough information. So this just before you launch this live, you have to do a lot of revamping of the prompting and the questions, the common questions, because otherwise you're going to get an answer like this, and that's just going to frustrate people.
Which,
So
yeah, makes sense. I think there's a lot of pre-production that goes into this
yep,
to really
but
utilize it.
in fairness, it is a chatbot that works and responds, and so in its rawest, newest form, it's already working here.
Well, and I think too, like we have to think about the situation, right? Like the use for this. If it is an appointment booker, and let's just change instead of being a restaurant, let's like see how good it is when it's doing its job in the right business. What if it was like a spa or appointment to come in to, a brokerage or
Yeah, let's try real estate. So we're not going to do exact. We're going to do the URL in this domain.
like Sally's Nails or something.
I was going
Like a
to do
nail
EXP real.
salon, a hair salon. Okay. Why would you book an appointment at eXp Realty?
It's just a site about real estate. I mean, I can do another example if you want to find one.
I would just here, let me look up like a that might work, but you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see how well it is at appointment booking, appointment setting when it's a business that like really what would serve the client is I just need somebody online that's going to book all these appointments. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like a nail salon, hair salon. Let me see if there's let's see if you have let's see who
Want me to just look up like Medi Spa and Katie?
you can. There's some yeah, there's some that have a lot of there you go. You know who would have a lot of information? There you go. That has a lot of information.
Cool. So we're going to put this into the bot and train it. And this is what's it called? Katie Medi
Katie
Spa.
Medi Spa. I wonder if this is a rank and rent site or if it's like a real business because I've never heard of it.
107 pages crawled, so they have a bunch of things on that URL. So it's training on a pretty thorough blog here. So that's good.
Yeah. So with us testing this right now, we're still paying, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So you better give us something good. Just kidding.
this might take a while. So let me
Well, I can just edit it. Edit.
train bot.
All right. Wow. I hear you clicking on something, but I don't see it. Okay.
So once we hit train bot on all these pages, it'll go through and read all of them. If you were doing this for a client, you would obviously make sure that all of these pages are information that you wanted to train the bot on, but looks like it's going pretty quick. So we're good there. Let's go back and reset the conversation to appointment booking, and then let's test it out. What would you like to ask, Juanita?
So we can start off with their hours and see what the difference is, or if it would be obviously appropriate. Appointment availability, we recommend advanced booking and walk-ins are welcome if slots are open. Late arrivals will receive the remaining. Okay. Do you have anything open for today after 2 p.m.?
Now, this part is going to look at our calendar, so it's probably going to say no because it's not
Oh,
pulling from their calendar, but we can at least see what kind of answer we get.
okay. That's taken any other time that works for you. Okay, so can you tell me what's open? No, just I would respond like a okay. That's nice. Let's ask a Medispa question. Do you offer Dysport? Dysport? Nice. This is cool. What else would we ask it? So it's
Uh,
not being as pushy about the appointment. I would imagine, would you like to come in on Tuesday? Next Tuesday? It's best to reach out to the spa directly for specific pricing details on Dysport treatments. They'll be able to provide accurate and current information. That's smart. But you could then program it to, know all of your specials,
mhm.
Jason, like,
Yep,
currently, but then you'd have to go in and, like, retrain it when the specials end and when you have new specials.
exactly. Yeah, it would just be an ongoing thing, so it would be a lot of communication back and forth with you and the business owner in that side of it. But
Uh,
for
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say for it's I'd say this is going to work well for these types of businesses. I think it works really well for somebody with a formulaic like outreach process. Like we're selling solar, we're selling real estate,
Mhm,
we're selling something like we always need to find out if they're looking to buy or sell. We always want to make sure they have,
mhm.
if we're selling solar, do they have a certain type of roof or what those types of things. So it's like a structured process. I think right now these things are going to work really well for. But also you can see like it could book people for a Medi Spa treatment, or more importantly, if you had a bot that was trained just to do one specific thing, like we have a special on Botox this week, and so you're sending an outgoing message to people that have done Botox in the past at your spa. Now you're going to have the AI trained just on that specific special and getting them to book an appointment. This would be phenomenal for that.
Yeah. Well, I think to go up a little bit because what I'm curious about, and you might not know this yet, but I'm just curious how this works if I were the owner of this mini spa. So right here, it's best to reach out to the spa directly for special pricing details on Dysport treatments. You could always that answer could be changed, right? That could be
Yeah,
like a
you're just
custom answer at the time. So if I were to do if I were to train it on a special, right? And then next week I have a different special. Is it
mhm.
for you, the marketer, is it as easy as me, the owner, saying, "Hey, Jason, I have a new special this week." Do you just go in and you uncheck? Like, how do you teach the bot to not know what it used to know? Do you just
Uh,
uncheck that special answer and then
yeah, so you go in, you might have a special like Google Doc that said this week's special or something like that, and then you would just constantly update that Google Doc with that information.
so, but how do you erase, oh, just trash can?
You can
Or could
trash
you
can it, or you
uncheck
can
it?
well, you could trash can it, or you would refresh it. So say this was our weekly special list. I could change
Mhm.
this to special 2, and then say this was the link to that Google Doc. I would just retrain it so it's getting the new data, it's pulling in the new special.
But doesn't it still get the other information that's above it?
Well, yeah, you would remove that. I'm just saying you would I just didn't want to delete this, but you would
No,
put
I
your new
understand that.
special on this document.
But then my question would be, well, then there's gotta be a way that I could keep that special on file and just pause it, mute it, right?
You
Because
would
right now it looks like you can erase something from the
yeah,
knowledge base or you can refresh it. How do
yeah,
you
you would
just erase or how do you pause it without erasing it?
you don't. You either delete it and then re-put it back in later, or you that would be it. That's the only
Hmm.
way to untrain it.
Interesting. All
Yeah.
right. I think they should have a pause button. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
then for you, like you have to keep up with that document. Like, hey, Jason, we're going back to the 40% off special in May. And now you're like, well, what's that? Because it's gone. Versus, okay, let me go find it, right? And the file is still there for you. And then it's just like a click of a button.
Yeah. It's similar to if you had an actual employee, you could do like new special for June or whatever and have it down here. But I don't know how well the bot would know to decipher what was active and what wasn't.
Well, yeah, that's why yeah, that's just what I'm just saying on I think obviously that the more people use this, they'll run into that to where instead of the only options being to I don't understand how you can refresh something though without if you can only delete and then you can just also refresh. Refresh means that you've paused it at one point too. So
No, it
there
just means
must be
it's if on my main website
mm,
I added new hours and I wanted this to now
mm,
learn those new hours, I would hit refresh and it would
okay.
now go back to the site and say, "What's new about this?" Okay, now I'm going to learn all this new stuff and
All
get rid
right.
of the old stuff.
All right. Well, maybe in the future we can have a little apartment, yeah,
Yeah.
where you can keep that document in the same database right there. Just save it in your files and
Mhm.
then refresh it when you're ready.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Cool. So that is basically the pluses and minuses of the high level conversational AI bot is that it's very easy to set up. It's very easy to get working. Like I had to do no programming, no workflows, no anything advanced. I just basically clicked a few things, uploaded a website here, and it was trained on a lot of data. The downsides are that I could only use one bot, and the bot wasn't super advanced. It had a
Mm.
one track mind, either some basic Q&A or it's going to book me on a calendar, but I can't do advanced stuff there.
Can you have a multiple of these or can you just have one bot?
You can just have one bot per sub account.
Okay. Hmm.
So I'd have to
Um,
have multiple sub accounts to do multiple bots at the moment.
all right. Well, I think the awesome thing is that if this is what you're looking for, you are just looking for someone who is going to go out there and be a go getter and book you some appointments. You can put this on your website widget as a chat to be responsive, but you can also use this as a prospecting tool, right? And just program it to DM a bunch of people on social media or whatever. It's still, if it just has one job, you only have one job. I think it's still really powerful as is, and that this thing is ready to sell to someone because it's still very new and not a lot of people have it. It's functional.
Yeah, it's super easy if you are not techie at all and you just want to try it out, even just on suggestive mode where you can just see, oh, these are the answers that I could put, but I don't like any of these. I'm going to put my own. It'll still save you some time. So I would say try that first if you're not super comfortable with going full autopilot. But again, I have full faith in the high level development team. I'm sure they're going to get this thing. They like to release that basic version, get you comfortable with it, and then constantly improve it. So I think it's going to be incredible in the coming months and years.
Agreed.
Cool.
All right.
So let's get into our final build that we're actually using right now currently. The best tool that I found so far, I looked at several of the most well-known ones out there. I tried to get affiliate relationships with them. I did some demos just as an anonymous user just to see the process. And this particular bot that I came across, I found them on YouTube, found a couple example videos, and they had one in the real estate space, which is an audience that we have a background in. So I wanted to learn more about that. Did a demo with them, and I was just blown away by the ability that this thing had right out of the box. So that particular tool that we're using is called CloseBot. You can get, I'll pull up a little thing here. You can get 20% off if you use this link here, ghl.pro/closebot, and then use the coupon code GHL Pro as well. That will give you the extra 20% off. But I'll show you behind the scenes of what it does, and then you can determine if you want to do a trial with them. So back to the screen. There we go. So we released this on our GHL Pro account, which is the channel that you guys are watching now. We sent a text message out to all the people that have signed up for our free SaaS class or have signed up for a trial of high level, but maybe they didn't go all the way through to actually signing up. They just put their name and email in, but didn't move forward for whatever reason. So we just wanted to test the AI bot out as well as show them something cool that high level could do in the same time. And so we sent a text message that basically said, I'll just show you some conversations. Let me pause my screen for just a second because I don't want to give personal information out. Okay, so I just wanted to hide some personal information over here is like people's emails and phone numbers and stuff. But in general, we sent a message out that said, let's see, this guy was pretty active, so we'll read through some of the examples that it got. Said, hey, it's Jason and Wanetah from GHL Pro. We built an AI bot to answer your high level questions. Reply to this message with real questions to test it out. And then this is a default thing that automatically goes out on the first message. So a lot of people started responding. We sent a drip of about 20 messages per hour so that we didn't overload the system in case it just went off the rails. We wanted to make sure. But the first few responses we got were really cool. Some people said stop, like you can see right here. So that means they don't want to get any messages from us anymore. It'll make us cry. But
But we
but
do
some people
really appreciate all of you who participated because this is really fun and it was really helpful.
So I trained the close bot. Basically, the idea of the close bot is that you can have different agendas. So you can have unlimited bots, number one. So I can put as many bots as I want. It incorporates directly into high level. You can white label it so you can offer it to your clients and they won't even know what close bot is. You can charge them whatever you want for your bot or just include it in your packages and all kinds of other things. But really, what I liked about it was the incremental agendas that you can ask it to do, which for the example I talked about with the real estate space, I can have it do a qualification path of, all right, step one, I want you to focus on getting their name and email. Step two, I want you to find out what the property address is. Step three, I want you to find out the property condition and how much they want for it. And if you don't get those answers, like you've tried twice and the person's just saying, none of your business, give me an offer, then it will know to move on to the next question and not push too much on that thing. It's just very smart and very talented at getting it. But for this one, we wanted to be a little more casual and just be a helpful, friendly, like Q&A bot with a slight edge of if somebody has some questions, we will give them the link to ghlfree.com, which I'll put here. You guys can get a free 30-day trial to high level if you're watching this and want to try it out. But this was also what we programmed the bot to casually mention as well. So I don't know. I haven't read through these. These are fresh from a couple hours ago. So we'll see some of the responses. I found that some of them were excellent. Some of them were not exactly correct. So we'll see
Yeah.
what it said. So how do I set up a domain-based email in GHL? This might, let's see if this is a good example. You can set up a domain-based email in GHL by signing up for a 30-day free trial. Once you're in, find step-by-step instructions in the members community. So that's not a great answer. How do workflows work in GHL? Workflows in GHL are automated processes that help manage tasks, communications, and more. They're customizable and can be triggered by various events. You can learn more. So I only gave it the ghlfree.com link because I didn't want them to give out the direct high level link if we could give out our link. And this guy seems to be pretty experienced with high level. He's just really trying to test it out. And
Right.
I do notice that it's giving the GHL free link way too many times. So we'll have to build that as well. Let's see. What are triggers in GHL are specific events that initiate a workflow. It could be anything from a new lead to a customer action, blah, blah, blah. So this is not the best example to start with because it's giving the GHL free. It is answering all their questions, but it's I got to do better prompting with the link part here.
How do you do that? Do you just tell it like, "Hey, maybe every other response or every third response you can send the link again?" Can you
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
so, something like that. Or I don't know how specific you can get, but we'll see. Let's see.
And Carlene Thomas, my last message may have slipped. This is something that it did that we didn't tell it to do. Remember, it went back in, people who didn't respond, it was like, "Hey, I don't know if you got my last message."
Yeah. So
Remember?
I didn't realize that it was set to automatically follow up with people. What it's supposed to do, and I finally figured out how to turn it on, but you can have it once its mission is complete, meaning it's got a back and forth, it's resolved the person's question, then it won't keep following up with them. But what's cool about it is if you did want that to happen, like you were just doing a specific campaign, like we have 1,000 old leads that we haven't heard from in a year. We want to see if they're still interested in getting a free teeth whitening or whatever for a dentist, you can send that thing out and it will keep following up with those people for at least a day or two to try to get them to come into the dental office or whatever case you need. Same message says, how do I start my SaaS? Starting my SaaS is starting your SaaS with high level is simple. Just visit ghlfree.com to sign up for a 30-day free trial. You can downgrade at any time and still maintain your trial. And then they didn't respond again. So it followed up one more time. My last
Mhm.
message may have slipped your notice. High Level makes setting up SaaS straightforward. Visit GHL free for free trial and adjust your subscription as needed whilst enjoying your trial.
Nice.
Let's see if I can find some other good examples here. We got so many responses, which is cool because I knew that
Yeah,
this thing
thank
was, I was monitoring it just to make sure, but you saw it. We get some more stops. Let's see. See what this one is. This one didn't, she never answered again. She said real questions and then didn't respond after that.
mm.
Let's see.
There's one down there that says 5.
Okay, here's a
Then
good
it
one.
says, "I'm sorry for any confusion."
Oh, that's my friend. So that one isn't going to be good.
Okay.
Can it be used for anything? Absolutely. High Level is a versatile software that can be used for a variety of purposes. It's perfect for starting your own SMA or SaaS. I did put that as part of a prompt, so that is something. It's
Oh,
also
nice.
great for establishing marketing agencies looking to streamline their process. So there's some, hopefully I'll find some better ones, but overall, I'd say I was reading some of the responses and I was just like, wow, this is exactly in the line of what I would do, probably even better than I would have articulated it. And
Mm.
so and this is just with 10 minutes of prompting, not really quite knowing what I'm doing. I'll show you the prompts in a moment so you can see that side too. Let's just see one or two more here. Okay, here's a good one. Oops. Where can I check usage for SMS and phone in my account? It says you can check SMS and phone usage by navigating to company settings section in your high level dashboard. There you'll find a new usage tab that provides detailed information about your account's activity. And then it followed up today, just checking if you found how to view your SMS and call data with the usage tab under high levels company settings. So the person didn't respond, but it's just cool to see that it's actively engaging. If I had a better agenda for this thing and knew what I was doing better with the prompting, this would be really dialed in. But already I'm impressed with it. What do you think, Juanita?
I love it. I think it's doing a fantastic job, and I like our agenda, actually. I think what stops a lot of people from doing communities or anything like that is you can't really you have a full-time job doing all these other things, running your agency as well, but as an affiliate, like being able to manage your affiliates and assist your affiliates because so many people have questions, especially when they're coming in top of funnel and they're just very curious or they're just getting started and think about this is the beauty of things that everything is becoming more and more immediate, right? Like back in the day, you used to have a question and people would tell you to look it up in a dictionary. Now we all have phones in our hands and we just Google it. I don't even know why people ask questions out loud, right? Like, because you can just Google it, right? So the answers are just at your fingertips. But now with something like this, if somebody has a question and they're struggling, but they're working their tails off trying to learn high level, they can't just reach out to Jason or whoever they signed up under and get an immediate response. But now they can. And chat is going to be able to articulate it much better than a lot of people will be able to. It will never be impatient, it will never be too busy for you, and it will check in with you the
Yeah.
next day. So
Yeah.
I just think that it's excellent customer service and I love it. And I
Yeah.
think people are the more and more it's just really important that people keep going, right? That they just even though for you you're like, man, that was ridiculously hard to build a bot, and then I'm sure that was super frustrating to spend all that time and then not get the result. But the more and more people that are really just putting their all into this thing and improving it, that's how we're going to get there quicker and faster, and it's already happening. So I just think that think about like we just AI was like it's AI. Everybody was talking about it last year in the latter part, and now it's like, oh, look what we can do. There's
Right.
so much that people can do. So I think this is going to be a breeze. I really do. I think we're going to be like exactly where we want it in no time.
Yeah, I do too. And I think it's still in the early days, but it's already so advanced compared to what most frontline people are comfortable handling, especially at the scale that it can handle. So I have no doubt that once it's fully ramped up, it's it's going to be so transformative to businesses that if they don't have one, they're going to be left behind. I truly believe that, and I think that's why I'm so excited about offering it to people, helping them get faster response to their leads and get more business flowing. And we have a tool that can supply that for them. So it's a great opportunity for all of us here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we already saw this with if you didn't have an online presence, right? We saw it with websites, and a lot of people still don't have websites, but they have a Facebook account. And the reason that works is because people are online and you can go to Facebook and there's all the traffic there, right? But something like this, where it's just going to be expected, like the bar, the standard of service has now been raised to where it's people will be like, why do you even have a website? Why do you have a Facebook page if you can't respond to my questions like within seconds? Because that's just human nature. You know what I mean? So I know this seems far out now to a lot of people. Nobody would have predicted that you would always have a mini computer in your hand and be addicted to it and couldn't leave the house without it. Like people used to use maps back in the day. Just think about that. So now it's just like, it's just going to be so automatic. It's gonna be absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe what's the word that people use? Like, this is just unacceptable, right? It's gonna be unacceptable to not have this technology, like, sooner than we think.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I want to show you before we wrap up here just the prompting that went into this. Pretty basic right now. That's why some of the answers weren't amazing, but were also still somewhat impressive. So let's see here. So this is the back end of my close bot area, and you can have unlimited bots just by hitting this little plus button. It's pretty simple setup to attach them to the different sub accounts. I haven't even spent the time to white label this yet inside of our dashboard, but once I do, I'll be able to access this whole thing right inside of our high level dashboard to set it up for other clients and things. But you can, this one I named GHL Pro Customer Service. And let's just see if you see here, stop when all objectives are done. That's what I should have turned on other if I wanted it to not follow up anymore. What's also unique about this is on their top tier plan here in CloseBot, I can actually just use credits directly from OpenAI, which are like fractions of a penny sometimes.
Mm,
So it's way cheaper for me at scale to do it through here than even through high level. I think they probably, and understandably so, they probably have some kind of markup or margin in their AI credits. And then they also allow you to upsell on top of that, but everybody's making money in the process.
right.
So here you can just get directly to the source here. But
I
let's look
really
at
like
the,
this dashboard.
yeah, it's cool.
It's really clean.
So this is, and I just modeled this after the prompt that they already had. I'll show you one for a real estate investor in a moment. But it was casual, kind of laid back is the way that he phrased it. So I just did what he did to see. It says, "Hey, you're a bot named at rep name. You work for Jason and Wanetah at GHL Pro, and they're the best dang high level affiliates on the planet. Jason and Wanetah love promoting high level people because it is the best dang software on the planet to help people start their own SMMA or SaaS software as a service. So lead name, meaning whoever's chatting in, doesn't have to worry about a thing. Most of the people you talk to will have found Jason and Wanetah on YouTube from their channel GHL Pro and filled out a form at freesaasclass.com or signing up as an affiliate at GHL Free. They may not be quite ready to fully sign up for high level. It may have some questions. It's your job to answer the questions they may have while accomplishing other goals set for you. And then I did a bunch of stuff about high level here and how they can get a free trial and stuff like that. Then, so this is a general prompt. And then they also have objectives here. Now, my first spot that I built was pretty aggressive. It was like, we tested it out and it was like, sign up for high level, sign up for high level. Here's the link. Have you signed up for high level yet? So we pulled it back a little bit to just being friendly, answer questions. And let me see if I added anything else here. Goal is to answer leads questions and give them a great experience. And then how do I get a free trial of high level is just like that Q&A thing that we did in high level. This
Mm,
is similar to there. So I should actually make this rating 100. And what that means is if somebody asks this question, this is the perfect response for that. And you can add more and more of these. You can also do negative responses. You don't want them to ever say a certain thing. Retry limit is something you'd have more. I'll show you more on the real estate side, but that means like how many times are you going to try to get this question or this objective handled before you move on? So that might be like, have you thought about how much you want for the property? And the prospect says, no, just give me a price. And it says, well, we really like to see what you were thinking first. It says, just give me an offer. Then it'll move on to the next phase here. I'm trying to get out of
I
here.
see. Okay.
And then there's way more that you can do with this. It comes with a whole snapshot and everything that is really easy to set up. But you can see a bot voice is friendly, caring, educated, helpful. You could do, let's see some of the others, approachable, unprofessional. So unprofessional doesn't mean they're rude. It just means that they're not super corporate-y. So if you have a laid back
Okay.
vibe, then informal would probably be a better term.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So let's jump over to the real estate investor demo. You can see that one set up, and we'll actually do a few tests too, which is really cool. You can do the same kind of back and forth here. So this is a template that's already set up. I haven't touched this thing yet. You can see this is what was already in here. Hey, you're an investor for rep name for investor named, and then you give your bot a name like Joe or Sarah or whatever. At the best staying cash home buying property company there is. This company is super local, well trusted in the community, so the lead doesn't have to worry about a thing. However, you sent a cold text to lead name to start the conversation, so they may be a bit pissed that you messaged them and may not be interested in selling a property at all. And they tell a little bit more about the company, but pretty basic stuff here. But you can see more of the objectives here, which is what I wanted to show you. So the priorities are number one, interest. So determine how interested they are in selling, why they want to sell their home, their timeline. So are they selling soon? Are they planning to sell next year? What is their timeline for that? Motivation. So why are they wanting to sell? Which sometimes uncovers like, oh, I need to move because my daughter just graduated and she's across the country and I want to be closer to her or whatever. So that is a higher level of motivation. And then the final goal is to book an appointment. So we can
Nice.
test the bot here and just see some of the responses we get. We reset this, put it back on the investor bot and reset. We'll just do this final test here and then we'll wrap up. But I just want you guys to see how powerful this thing can be. All right. So I'm chatting as the prospect that just got maybe a text message saying, hey, just wanted to see if you still wanted to sell your property at 123 Main Street. And
Okay.
I'll say, how much can you give me? And you can see the model that it's using is GPT-4 Turbo, which you can change this model and test. Different ones have different training, different speeds, different costs. So it's a whole world to get into on that side. To make sure you get a fair offer, could you please share when you're hoping to have the sale wrapped up? Just a ballpark. Not
Idea
sure.
works. No, I was just finishing the sentence.
Oh, thanks. How about you give me some answers to get back? And what I like to do with these is not be so easy on these things. Just test if it's a disgruntled person that maybe doesn't want to sell their house but knows they need to. So give me a little bit of a medium answer there, like not too
Could you
happy, not
share
too
when you're hoping to have the sale wrapped up as soon as possible? I don't know what I would say there. What's something I needed to happen quick? I don't know. I don't That's a nice question to not get a pushback answer.
And you can also, what I found is they're getting really good at the double texting. So sometimes people will answer the question and then follow up with another thing. And you'll
Yeah.
find some of these chat bots don't handle that very well. But this
Mm.
one I found worked really well with that. Got it.
Got
Quick
it, a
sale.
quick sell. Go ahead.
You can go ahead.
I can barely read it, to be
Oh,
honest with
okay.
you. Got it. A quick sale can be crucial sometimes. Are you dealing with a pressing situation or just prefer to move fast? This helps me tailor the offer to fit your needs. Understanding when you're aiming to sell helps me tailor the offer to fit your needs better. So, are we looking at needing to move this quickly or do you have some flexibility? And is this the speed that it has to go on?
Different models are a bit slower or faster, but it's generally about as fast as you'll get.
I can definitely prepare an offer for you to ensure it's fair and meets your needs. Could you share what's prompting you to consider selling? None of your business. Quit asking me that. Gaw. And if this was a human on the other side, I'd be like, "Jeez, man, what do
Yeah,
I
and you can see, like,
say?"
that's a great point. So in this scenario, you get somebody who's maybe tired, like one of your employees is tired, they're starting to get this chat, they're like, "Whatever, this guy isn't serious. I'm not gonna even deal with them," which the chat says, "Understood, no problem. How about we set up a quick call to discuss numbers? It's more straightforward that way. Would you be open to that?"
You can call me now. Give me your digits. I think just people are gonna just love this. Nobody's ever gonna have to go through this again, where you're talking to rude people who are
Right.
upset. Great. Could you click on this link to schedule the call? Customlink.com. Looking forward to speaking with you. Just call me right now. Now. Huh?
It may not be programmed to do that, but let's just
Well,
see.
I thought you said just be rude.
Yeah, yeah, I just don't know what it'll say here. I think it might be programmed just to try to book people on a calendar, but let's see.
Well,
We
yeah.
can definitely.
I just want to see if it has a clever answer. Great. Could you click on this link to schedule the call?
Oh, no, that was
Custom link.
earlier.
Looking for.
That was the one I did. Sure, you can call me now.
Uh, just call me.
I'm
Okay.
not sure. But you can see, and the founder of this is very active in they have a Facebook group and stuff. So he explains these things way better than I am. I'm just showing you my day two knowledge of this stuff. But every goal, every step of this shows you all the reasoning behind what it did. So true appointment, sure you can call me now, rating 95. That means a very hot lead. Even in high level, you can set this to once you see that this is a hot lead, you can have it trigger off to notify the owner, notify somebody, a decision maker at the company saying, you have a very hot lead right here. You need to take action on this or whatever. Then it explains why. And so I'm not sure why it got stuck right there, but it wouldn't in the real
Short
world.
extension. Jason expresses a clear willingness to engage in a phone call immediately. Okay. Paul will continue responding if he receives another message. It's awesome.
So
How
that
far
is
will it go ahead?
how far will it go? Is that what your question?
Yeah, if it wasn't somebody, like, pushing back, if it was
Mhm.
just, like, answering, I just would I'd love to see, like, all the knowledge it has in asking the right questions to
Yeah,
qualify a lead.
let's try a nicer example of somebody who's not being a jerk. And again, just keep in mind, factor this in when you're starting that even testing does cost you money and credits. It's fractions of a penny. I'll pull up my OpenAI thing in a moment and show you. Sure thing. We just need a ballpark idea of when you're thinking about selling. Are you looking for something soon or further down the road? One to
Something
three.
ASAP. Okay, 1 to 3 months. That's the perfect time to get you situated into your new home. Got it. That's pretty soon. If you don't mind me asking, what's prompting the move? Looking for a change of scenery or something else? I have to move for work.
But even these answers, right? They're really friendly, nice, thorough, like guiding the conversation. Like so, this is something that AI would be perfect for.
Understood. Relocating for work can be quite the task. How about we set up a quick call to discuss your house to get you an offer? It'll be fast and easy. Would that work for you? Sure.
Let me try one pushback here.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it would want to qualify people more if it was for a loan officer or something.
Yeah, you can set it up. You can
Like,
be
are you
even
already
more.
pre-qualified?
You can set it up to be even more thorough with the qualification. I think it's just on the
Yeah.
basic. Just get a few data points.
Could you give me to give you a fair offer? I'd need to know a bit more about your property. How about a brief phone chat to go over the details? It's quicker than back and forth text. Ooh, good one. Would you be open to that? It's not in great shape.
And I even like to misspell things just to see some people as they're texting you, they don't spell correctly on accident
Mm,
or they just don't know. But it does a really good job of understanding lingo and please if you put like
mhm.
PLS or PLZ.
No worries. We buy houses as is, so you won't have to fix a thing. Let's hop on a call to sort out the details. How does that sound? If you're open to it, I can send over a link to schedule. Awesome. I love how friendly chat is. I do. I really do. Like it just makes the workflow so much better. And I don't know. And you can be really lazy with it and it just gets it. Like the other day, I was being lazy with, I set up one math problem. And then the next time I just literally did, okay, balance like colon, number, comma, APR, the number percentage. And then it was just like, do you want me to figure this out? Asking me, like, do you want me to do this thing for you? And I was like, yes. And then it just did it. Just love it. Jason?
I'm coming back. I'm just trying to get to another screen here.
Well, everybody, we have lost Jason. Welcome to the Wanetah show. There he is.
All right. So I wanted to pull up our OpenAI credits just to show you all the messaging and testing and everything that I'm doing, how much it costs me, and then we'll wrap up this video here. Let's see. So let me see where we are. I think it's over here, usage. So I've tested this on a bunch of different accounts. I've done a bunch of back and forth, all those that you saw from the demo that we did with the GHL Pro people as well. And I spent $1 the first day, $1.43 yesterday, and so far today I've spent $1.28. So not crazy for that amount of engagement. In all the testing we just showed you right now, all that's factored in there too. You can see different pricing there too. GPT-4 Turbo. It picks different models sometimes to send messages out. So that's still beyond my knowledge base of why it does that. But in 8 cents just now.
I would imagine
So
it does that like when it actually has to. When it knows that that's beyond my pay grade, then it just switches over into Ford Turbo.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I know you can select now with CloseBot, you can select which model you want, and some are working even better for certain use cases, and some are working better for other reasons. So that's something I'm going to learn even more about. I promise you, I will continue on this path, and I will keep learning more about this because I find that it is the most excited I've been about a piece of tech in a long time because of the days when I remember when people were buying websites for $20,000, $50,000, and I didn't have the knowledge base to take advantage of that opportunity when people really wanted websites and were willing to pay whatever they could pay for them. We have already a phenomenal software with high level, but adding AI chat inside of that, even if none of these people get it. If none of our clients get it, we're still going to use it for all of our businesses and just take over. So somebody is going to use this, the people that are smart and understand and see how it can help them grow their companies without having to add a lot more staff and maybe even reposition some of the staff they have to do more higher leverage jobs. This can qualify the people, and then all the people that were already on the phones doing this monotonous stuff can now move up to a sales role. Maybe they can help convert more of those people into actual clients and customers. So there's so many opportunities with this.
Yep, absolutely. And you're doing great. We're
Thanks.
all excited.
So if you guys want to check out Closebot, you can go to ghl.pro/closebot and then make sure you use the code GHL Pro all together as a coupon code. That will give you an additional 20% off. But you already get a great deal with them and you can work your way up. So they have different pricing tiers depending on what you want. Fully white labelable. Wow, that's a tough one.
White labelable.
There
That's
you go.
harder
Thank you.
than edited it. I already edited it because it was white labelable.
And if you are new to high level, you haven't even signed up for that yet, you can go to ghlfree.com. That will give you a free 30-day trial to high level, the pro plan. And if you want to get a 14-day trial to the lower tiers, you can reach out to us or just comment and we'll give you a link for that. But I've always recommended the GHL free because that gives you a 30-day trial and you can always downgrade to one of the lower options if you want to, but still keep 30 days versus 14 days of a free trial. So hopefully you guys got some value out of that. I know it was another long video. We like doing these longer forms, and we know you guys seem to like them. You comment and let us know what you want to learn next. We are going to go heavy into this AI space, and we're launching this for our own software company as well. All the offerings that we're talking about on this channel. So I'm just excited for all of you to take advantage of this. If you're not techie, start learning this stuff because it's going to be a part of everything. So either get a technical person that you're partnering with or dip your toes into this. Even Wanetah will say she's not super techie when she started, but she's getting the hang of a lot of this stuff and is drastically farther than she was even just a month or two ago. And really, her ability of sales and now learning all the tech side is just going to be incredible for all of our businesses. So appreciate you guys watching. And any final words, Wanetah?
Nope. Thanks for watching. And we really appreciate your comments. That really helps us. Your feedback just gives us a lot of guidance into what you want, what you really need, what we should be doing next. And don't forget to subscribe.
That's right. Thank you guys.
Bye.